I hope you remember the commands for open port scanning part. So for open port scanning or for to identify the active machines inside the network, you can use this command arp-scan-l, which will simply broadcast ARP packets inside your local network. So I got the open machines 1.8 and 1.9. I have two machines here, Windows 10 and unexploitable. To verify or to identify or to distinguish between both these machines, Linux and Windows, what I can do, I can simply ping the machines, and on the basis of TTL value, I can distinguish which one is Windows and which one is Linux. So I have TTL value as 64 for 1.8, and for 1.9, I'm not able to ping the machine. Means there could be a firewall active on the victim side. For that part, you can do one more thing. You can try Nmap, try simple Nmap on the machine. If it works, then well and good. Other than this, you can do one more command with Nmap to bypass the firewall or to try to bypass the firewall. That was Nmap-F and the IP address -F. We are using -F to bypass the firewall just by fragmenting the packets. So when you press enter, let's try. Nope, simple Nmap is not working, not the issue. Let's try with fragmentation part, and we scan the Windows machine with the -F option. No, I'm not able to scan this machine. Means all 1,000 scan ports are all 1,000 common scan, all 1,000 scan ports are filtered. Means there is a firewall active on the victim side. So let's try scanning our first machine, which was 1.8. Let's go for Nmap and 1.8. When you press enter, you can see multiple ports here. Port number 21, 22, 23, 25, and other different ports. Right. I'm using one more command here to identify the service version. For that, I'm using a simple option -B to identify the service version. When you press enter, this will simply give you the output, the detailed version with the service version. So let's wait for that part. As I know, I have port 80 here. Let's try open port 80 on our browser. Let's see. The website is hosted on the victim's machine. So I hope it's visible to you all. You can see simple text command here, unexploitable version 2, and warning with a simple contact command for simple contact prints. And I have a label here, login with MSF admin and MSF admin. Anyone can predict this. This would be a username and password for login access part. Right. Other than this, I have 5 things here. First one is Quickie, and this one is a directory. As you can see here, we have multiple files: readme.txt, license.txt, wiki documentation.html, wiki history.html. And let's get started with this part. So we have a wiki directory here. I will explore this directory in just 2 minutes. For wiki, let's go with PHP my admin page, and it's asking for me a username password. Let's try MSF admin, which we get here from MSF admin and MSF admin. Let me try this one. MSF admin, MSF admin, and no, they're not working. Not the issue. I can go for admin admin. Are my default passwords sometimes. Nope, they are not working. Let's try root and root. Nope, they are not working. But the point is, you can try default passwords as well. Right? Other than this PHP my admin page, I have a other link that was Metal Day. Metal Day is a simple platform where you can practice your hacking skill on web application part. I know this is a simple testing platform. I'm not going to explore this one right now. Other than this Metadata, I have one more thing which we call it DBWA. This is again testing platform for practicing your website or web hacking skills. You can try web hacking skills here, right? So this is simple interface on port 80. Other than this port 80, I have few more common ports like port 21 for FTP service and 22 for SSH service, 23 for telnet, SMTP, domain, 80, and other different ports. Let's try connecting with these ports. To connect with port 21, you need username and password. And I get some username and passwords from here, MSF admin, MSF admin, right? So to connect, yes. Let me start with our scanning module. I'll try some of the commands with which you can scan the active machines. So when you are inside a network, your first
So this
objective
is
was
a virtual machine.
this is a virtual machine. I'm using three
Right.
virtual machines here. First one is Kali Linux. You can use any Linux operating system, whichever you like. But I'm using Kali Linux just because I have pre-installed tools which are used for penetration testing part. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have three machines here: Kali 20.4, Windows 10, and a Metasploit table, which is a vulnerable machine. I have downloaded this machine from the websites like Hub, or you can download from source codes as well. Just open the browser right here, Metasploit version 2. You get some links from source codes. You can download from source codes. You can download from Hub. Both give you the same files. You can download these files from here. After
So what's
downloading,
Metasploit?
Metasploit table is simple framework designed to practice your hacking skills. These are vulnerable machines, vulnerable computers.
Okay, so Metasploit is a kind of virtual machine, but it's kind of vulnerable. Not kind of, but it's a vulnerable machine.
Yeah, it's kind of vulnerable machine. It's Metasploitable.
Okay,
Metasploitable,
okay.
right? So after downloading, what you can do, you can simply click on the file, click on file options, scan for virtual machines. You just have to browse the directory where you have downloaded this file, the Metasploitable versions. Just browse the directory. When you click OK, this will give you a list of all the machines in your directory, right? So just now I have all the machines active for here. If I show you the directory, just let me show you. I have a machine here, Metasploitable. Not here.
Is it an ISO image?
It's not ISO image, it's already pre-configured file which you have to scan. When you download the file, you get all these files inside the single folder.
So do you have to install this Metasploitable, or it just, I mean, say,
You
it,
don't have to install the files. When you download these files, it will ask you to extract the zip file. Okay? When you uncompress the file, you get a folder which have all these files.
okay, so just unzip the content of the file and that's it.
That's it.
All right.
After unzipping the file, what you have to do, click on File, Scan for Virtual Machines. Just browse the directory where you have unzipped the file. For me, it's in VMware and Metasploitable version 2. Right? Click OK and next. We'll show you the machine here. I
Okay.
already have this machine. So just to show you, let me just remove this machine. So can browse WD VMware Metasploitable 2 Linux. Okay. Next, I got the machine here.
Mm-hmm.
Metasploitable 2 Linux. When I click on the finish button, I got a machine on my left side. As you can see, Metasploitable 2. I hope it's
Yes.
visible, right? You just have to power on the machine. and that's all. Your DHCP service will allocate the IP address to this machine. And to find out the
Is it
IP
is it
address,
VirtualBox you are in?
I'm in VMware. You can use VirtualBox as well.
Okay.
The steps are almost same. I'm using VMware here, not VirtualBox. After
Right.
these, after these things, what you have to do, open your Kali Linux, open the terminal from this terminal icon here. I'm writing a command where it's going to identify all the active machines inside my network. I'm inside the network configured by the VMware. So if I write ifconfig here, I have IP address 1.1.1.4. The net mask 355, 255, and 255. Right? To scan all the machines inside this network, I can write a command r hyphen scan
Wait,
hyphen.
wait, sorry to interrupt you. Uh, just to let you know, I'm not even though I have a little bit of IT knowledge, but I'm using Kali for the first time. So you're using ifconfig in order to get the IP address of what machine? It's your own machine, which is Kali
Yeah,
Linux.
it's my own machine. When you
Yes. So you
execute,
got the IP address of the Kali Linux, which is 1.1.1.14.
yeah, it's the IP address for my this machine, Kali Linux machine.
Okay.
Yeah, this is similar to the Windows command like ipconfig, right in
Yeah, yeah,
Windows.
yeah. I understand
This
the
is
difference.
similar to this one.
So
In
what are
Linux,
we trying to do first, right? What's our target? What are we doing just now?
we're focused on the on identifying all the active machines inside our network. If we are inside a
Okay.
network,
Okay.
100 employees are working. We have 100 devices. I'm just trying to find out all the 100 IP addresses.
Okay.
Yeah, for that part, I'm using a command arp-scan and -l.
Okay.
arp-scan, this tool will simply broadcast ARP packets inside my network and wait for the response. Right? From all the machines, it get the response. They will be listed here on the bottom. -l
Okay.
means I'm broadcasting my packets inside my local network,
Right.
inside my own network. Right? When I press enter, asking for root privileges, let me give the root privileges here. I got the IP addresses here. 1.1.
Of four machines.
I have four. I don't have four machines. I have only three machines. I'll explain you why we get four addresses here. Just give me a minute. I got four addresses here: 1.1, 1.2,
What
1.8, and 1.9. Right?
default gateway it is, I think,
Yeah.
1.1.
VMware use two default gateways, 1.1 and 1.2.
Okay.
Right? These are the two default gateways which are used by VMware, and we have two machines here, 1.8 and 1.9. I know 1.4 is my own IP address, so this is
IP.
not here. Right? It means three machines are active inside my network, 1.8 and 1.9. Right? Other than this
Yeah.
command, arp-scan, you can do one more command. You can try one more command that was nmap
Nmap. Nmap.
hyphen
SA.
smallest f, yeah, hyphen small s and small n with the network address here. That was 1.1.1.0/24. This will do the same thing, broadcast ARP packet into your network and wait for the response. The
Yeah.
output is same, but you can use any of these commands. You can try ARP scan, you can go for nmap, it's up to you. Results are same, but in nmap, we have only one IP here, 1.8 and 1.9 is not listed here, as you can see,
Yeah.
right? So you can
Yes.
go for multiple commands to verify your output.
Okay.
Other than,
Why is it not showing 1.9 and other one is ARP is showing 1.9 as well?
I'm not sure about that part, why nmap is not showing 1.9. Maybe maybe 1.9 is not responded to the command, responded to the ARP packet. It
Is
could
it
be.
an actual machine?
It is actual machine. If I
So
log in here,
so
MS
how can we
admin,
just check, like, for example, what IP address for Metasploitable?
just give me 5 minutes. I'm coming to the point.
All right.
Yeah. Other than these two commands to verify your results, you can try one more command that was net discover, right? With net
Yeah.
discover, use the option -r with your network address that was 1.1.1.0/24. This will do the same thing, broadcast your ARP packets to that network and wait for the response. But you can use these commands to verify your results. For net discover, we get nothing. Not the issue. Let's stick to the ARP scan. And we get two IP addresses here, 1.8 and 1.9. Right now, if I want to identify which one is my Linux machine, which one is my Windows machine, I have a
Got it.
thing. I can simply ping the machine 1.8 on the basis of TTL value. I know for Linux TTL value was 64 and for Windows TTL value was 128. So on the
Right.
basis of TTL value, I can verify the OS of that machine. I can predict the OS of that machine. Right? If I try ping on 1.9, we got nothing because firewall on this Windows 10 machine is blocking our packet. If I simply turn off the firewall, I'm just turning off the firewall, right? After turning off the firewall, I can ping the machine, I hope. No, it's not working even now. So connected and not that hard. Let me try one more machine. I'm opening one more machine that was Windows 7 here. I have my Windows machine here. So if I try the ARP scan here, I only get four of them, still four of them, and still four. So let's just check for the IP address, IP config. The configuration. I will add that network. And what is the IP address? Okay, just do one thing. I try the ARP scan and now I can see the IP address is there. That was 1.7, 1.8, and 1.20. So let's try on 1.7, 8, and 20. Let me clear this one. I got the IP address here. Let's try ping on 1.7. It's 128. So I can ping that machine. Let's go for 1.8. It's 64. I mean, it's Linux machine. Let's go for 20. And so I'm not able to ping the machine. It means there is a firewall active on that machine. Now, in Windows 10, I have a firewall turned off. But the point is, this one is off. And let's try this time. It works or not. No. Maybe the defender was blocking my packets. That's why I'm not able to scan this machine. I'm not able to ping the machine. Right? But the point is, on the basis of TTL value, you can distinguish which one is your Linux machine and which one is your Windows machine. Clear? After identifying the live host in your network, what you have to do is write a command like nmap and the IP address here to scan all the open ports on that machine. I got some open ports on the Windows machine. On the basis of open ports, you can verify if I get ports like 139 and 445. These ports are commonly allowed in Windows machine, right? On the basis of these two ports, you can verify that this is a Windows machine. But in vulnerable machine, which are specially designed for testing purpose, we will get these ports as well. So if I try nmap for my other machine that was 1.8, I got these services as well, 139 and 445, right? I have open ports for this machine, that was 1.7, and I have open ports for 1.8 as well.
So, Siddharth, sorry to interrupt you. So, in order to distinguish what operating system the machine got, we need to focus on TTL packets,
You can try that part. You can try the ping part.
ping
You can
part, and
you can you,
what
can- you
else?
can predict that the Windows, that it was a Windows machine or it was a Linux machine. You
Right.
can
So,
guess.
all
To
right.
verify the operating system, I have some commands with nmap. So for that part, you can use the option nmap hyphen capital O to identify the operating system on the victim's machine. If I write this command and write the IP address, it will show me the operating system for that machine. Either it was Windows, it was Linux, or with version for that window, and other different things. I have OS details. That was Microsoft Windows 7, Service Pack 0 or Service Pack 1,
Right.
right? So you can try
So
this
it's mine is it's hyphen zero,
hyphen capital O.
capital O.
Yeah,
All right. That's good.
you
Thank you.
can try the you can try the same command nmap hyphen capital O and the IP address here on this same machine. Verify the operating system. I got the OS details. It is a Linux-based operating system between these versions 2.6.33 to 2.6.9. Right. I have some open ports here, like port number 21, port 22, 23, and other different open ports. Right. The most common service I saw here was port 80, means a HTTP service. I know for HTTP service, I can open the IP address in my browser. Right. So when I write the IP address in my browser, not here, here, I see some things like the simple print commands or simple echo commands, which tell me it is a simple Metasploit version 2 machine for a simple label for that machine. I have a warning, I have a contact, and I have some logging information. Login with these credentials, MSF admin and MSF admin. You can try these credentials to log in, right?
Right. So sorry, I missed the part again. So what we did just now, we identified the IP addresses of the machines.
We identify the IP address of the machine, and now
Then
I'm
we just
executing
checked
a command.
what operating
Now,
systems there. What are the
yeah,
next?
after the operating system part, I'm executing a command npap hyphen smallest capital V to identify the version for that services,
Okay, the running services which are there.
the running service. This will show me all the open ports with their services and with their service versions.
Right.
Right? So I got the open ports, I got the service phone number. Right. So I got the most common port here. That was port 80, and the most familiar service was HTTP service. This is the most
Yes.
familiar service to anyone. Port
Yes.
80 and the HTTP service.
Mm-hmm.
When I open the IP address in my browser, I got few things, the simple print statements and few links here, right? So I have a simple print statement, Metasploitable version 2. I have some thing for warning, some contact details, and some login details, which
So
says login
how did
with.
you get this? How did you get this?
I simply write the IP address in my browser,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
right? I got these details, login with MSF admin and MSF admin. You can try these things to log in. So let's try. I'm opening one more tab in my terminal. So I have open port, as you can see here, I have an open port as 21. And I know I can authenticate myself for FTP service. To authenticate yourself, just write the command FTP and the IP address for the machine. This will ask you for the username. let's try these credentials which I got from the browser part from port 80 on that machine. Just try MSF admin and same as password MSF admin. I got the successful results. It means I'm inside that machine. I can contact to the machine, just write the help command so you can see all the options, all the commands you can execute on that machine. Right. So let's go for some commands like ls. I can see a directory was here. I have directories, I have read write permissions and execution permissions as well. So let's get inside the directory. cd vulnerable. I have some files here. First one is I have some directories here. First one is mysql-ssls directory, then Samba, then TikiWiki, and then Tiki 23201. Right? You can connect to the machine this way. Other than the port 21, I have one more port. It was 22. Port 22, I have a service that was SSH service. SSH service was used to get a shell for that machine. Right? So let's try that part. To connect with the machine, you can use SSH and the username that was MSF admin here at the rate and the IP address. When you press enter, this will ask you for the key part and the password. So I have a password that was MSF admin, and when I enter the password, I got the links here. Just give me a minute. Yeah.
Can't hear you well, Siddharth.
Cannot hear Siddharth.
So when you just log in with the SSH service with these credentials, MSF admin and password, which was MSF admin, you got access to the victim's machine. So
Sorry, I got lost again. Like what we did. I mean, say when we when we went to the into the directory, what we did after that?
we just went into the directory, and I'm just
Yes.
releasing it here.
Yes.
I'm not doing
And
anything
what
else in the
what are we
FTP.
doing afterwards?
Other than FTP, I have one more service here that was
So,
SSH.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just trying to connect to the machine with this service, SSH service. So to use SSH service and connect to the machine, just write the command SSH username that was MSF admin at the rate IP address. This is a simple format or syntax for the service through which you can connect to any machine. Right? When I press enter, this will prompt me for password. I have the password here that was MSF admin in my browser, as you can see. Let me just type the password MSF admin. When I press enter, I got the access to that machine.
Okay.
Here, dollar means you are a simple non-root user. You are a
Right.
root user. Other than dollar symbols, you get a hashtag,
Mm-hmm.
right? And here you can see I have a user that was admin, and I'm inside that machine. So I can execute all the commands which are allowed to that user. When I write the ls, I can see the same directory, vulnerable, and you can get inside the directory, vulnerable, and you can list all the files, right? You have control over that machine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. After this FTP or SSH service, we have one more service here that we call telnet. So let's try telnet as well. To connect with the telnet, just write telnet. I don't have telnet installed, so let me just install the telnet. Telnet was installed. After installing telnet, just write the command telnet and the IP address here. It was 1.1.1.8. When you press enter, you get this label same, right? Metasploit table 2, a warning message, a contact message, and another message that says login with MSF admin and MSF admin to get started. Let's try asking for username to get logged in. Let's try MSF admin, MSF admin. When I enter the username password, I got the access to the machine. Other than these two services, I have one more services. Like I have a service which was SMTP on port 25. How you can enumerate port 25? Let me discuss then. To enumerate port 25, we should know what is SMTP service. I hope you all are aware about SMTP service.
Yes, simple mail transfer protocol
Exactly. Used to transfer mails between one server to another
to
server,
another server.
right?
Yeah,
In this service, I have some commands like verify, VRFY, EXPN, recipient, mailer, other different things, right? So
yes,
to use these commands, to use these options at this SMTP service, I'm using a tool SMTP-user-enum. Before using any tool, what we do, we go for the manual page. When you press enter, this will show you the manual page if the tool has a manual page. If the tool don't has a manual page, you can do one more thing. Just go for the help page with the hyphen h or hyphen hyphen help. Clear? You can use any hyphen hyphen l or hyphen h. This will show you a simple introduction part to the tool, which was simply show you all the options which you can use to use this tool, right?
What's the tool's name?
SMTP hyphen user
User and
hyphen enum.
it's pre-installed or you have to install it.
It's pre-installed in Kali Linux. If you have to install the tool in other Linux operating system, just go on the browser and you can clone the tool from GitHub. Just write SMTP user enum. You will get a Linux repository if the tool is installed in Kali Linux, and
Okay.
you can clone the tool from GitHub as well. From Pentester Monkey, simply clone the tool. Just copy this code if you want to use the terminal with the git clone command. Otherwise, you can simply download the zip file and you can extract
Right.
that right in any of these commands. So to use this tool, we have some examples which you can use. Simple format, simple syntax for that tool. That was SMTP hyphen user hyphen enum option hyphen u for usernames hyphen capital U for file of usernames. If you are trying with a dictionary attack, hyphen T to specify the host, or hyphen capital T to specify file of hosts. If you have multiple targets, then you can go for capital T. If you have a single target, you can go with small t. Right? So let's try SMTP hyphen user hyphen enum. And if you are going with a simple default option, the SMTP hyphen user hyphen enum tool will simply verify the user if you are not specifying this option hyphen capital M for module part. Right? If you are not using this option hyphen capital M, this will simply verify the user on the server. So right now, I'm not using that part. I'm using simple two options, hyphen capital U, to specify a word list, and I already have some word list in my Kali Linux. Just browse the directory user, that was user USR share, and you can go for word list. Open this folder, and we have word list from all these tools like Derp, Derpbuster, Find Wi-Fi, Metasploit, Checklist, WFS, and other different things. Let's go for Derp. I have a list here. Let's go for any of these tools. You can go for any of these lists. Let's try big.txt. Right. So to use big.txt, let me specify the directory here from user, share, word list, derp, and it's big.txt. Clear? I have a single target on my 1.8 IP address, so I'm using small t with the IP address here, 1.8. Right? When you press enter, this will simply brute force or simply use that dictionary to verify that there is a user on that server or not. Right? This big.txt dictionary has around.
Sorry, Siddharth. I just lost it. Can you repeat it, please, again?
Yeah, I have to repeat this command only, right? Or
Yes.
Okay. So what I have did is I'm using this SMTP tool. I'm using this option hyphen capital
No.
U.
After after you started GitHub, like where we can get this tool,
Okay.
and then
Let me just
help section.
let me just clear the screen then. So after GitHub, I just come back to the terminal part, right? I have shown you the SMTP hyphen user hyphen enum and the help page.
Help.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm using two options here. First one is hyphen capital U, that was here to specify a list of users that I want to try that they are existing on the server or not.
Okay.
Other than this hyphen capital U option, I'm using one more option that was small t. Let me check where it is. Hyphen small t.
Server host running.
Yeah, server host part. Specify the IP address for that server. So let me use this tool SMTP hyphen user hyphen nm hyphen capital U. Specify a word list. In Kali Linux, I have word list in my directory. Like, not here. I have this word list in the directory that was user USR share, and you can write word list here. I have directory with name word list, and you can see all the directories for all the files which have word list for brute forcing part or for dictionary tags. I'm using a word list from this tool dirb, which has a name like big.txt. Right? Let me just specify the name, specify the directory. It was user share word list derb dirb and big.txt. After this dictionary, I'm using the hyphen small t option to specify my target address. Right? I have target address that was 1.8. When I press enter, this tool will use the by default VRFY option for the SMTP service. This will verify the user on that server. There is an existing user on that server or not. Right? I have a dictionary here. Yes.
Siddharth, if
Hello, Siddharth.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Siddharth, what is the content today? What are the things we are going to cover till now? We have already covered.
We have just tried some of the commands from scanning part, and we just enumerated some of the ports we got, like port 21 we got here, which is open port, port 22.
Okay.
Yes.
Today, mainly enumeration is happening, right? Scanning is already
Yeah.
done. Network scanning is done in the last class, right?
Yeah, we were focused on enumeration part today. How we can enumerate common services.
Okay.
Right. We have done with all of these ports like 21, 22, 23, 25, and port 80 was left, 139, 445, and services or their versions are left.
Using
we have-
Nmap only, right? Okay.
Not with only Nmap.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, you just clone the directory from checklist. When you write a command with ls, you get a folder here, checklist, and you can use dictionaries from this folder, right? All these directories like fuzzing, miscellaneous, payload, web shell, IOCs, passwords, they have dictionaries inside. Just open any of this dictionary or open any of the passwords. We have multiple dictionaries here which you can use for dictionary-based attacks. Right? If you don't have dictionaries, you can simply use GitHub to download dictionaries or to clone dictionaries. So this tool will simply try dictionary attacks on the SMTP server to verify the user in this dictionary big.txt exists or not. This dictionary has around 20,469 words, and this will take some time to cover all these words. Till now, I got some results like games, root, backup, bin, find, and all these users exist on that machine 1.8. Right? After this service, we have one more common service that was port number 80. It was HTTP service. So how you can enumerate HTTP service? I hope if you remember, I had told you about a tool that was DIRB, DIRB. That stands for Directory Buster. So with this tool, what you can do, but how you can use this tool, just use this tool to find out or to use any kind of dictionaries to identify the available directories on the server which you can access. For that part, you should be aware about this HTTP status code. So if you are aware about these HTTP status codes, only then you can verify the output for that DIRB tool. So how to use this tool? Before using any tool, we go with the manual page. If the tool has a manual page, I have a manual page, so you can read this manual page, how the tool works, what it does, what other options you can use. Right? To use this tool, just write the command dirb, a simple URL here, http:// the IP address which I have. When I press enter, this will use a word list that was common.txt in this directory, user, share, dirb, word list, and common.txt. Right? If I want to specify my own dictionary, what I can do, I'll write a command dirb URL space dictionary directory special, simple, / user, share, word list, dirb. After dirb, let's go for something called big.txt. Right? You can try any of these dictionaries. Other than this, you can use checklists, and you can go for further part. Let's try discovery. And inside dictionary, inside this discovery part, we have file systems. Let's go for file systems. And in file systems, we have multiple further directories which you can go for documentation, ABC, and other different things. Right? So just press enter. This will scan the directories on the basis of the word list. I hope it's clear how to use these dictionaries.
Yes, little bit. Still need
Okay.
to.
If you have any doubt, if you have any question, you can ask me.
Not right now.
Okay.
I like, since like when you entered the command,
You can use MSF tool. We are searching for this service, which is a FTP service. The version for the FTP service. I simply copy this service, paste it here, and search for this service. That there is an exploit, there is some kind of auxiliary available for that service or not. When I search this one, I got an exploit, this one. To use this exploit, I'm using the command use and the exploit name here, right? To see all the information about that exploit, I'm using the command show info, right? After this show info, I just came here with some basic options. It means these fields are required. Our host, our port are required fields which I have to configure, right? Our port is the port number on the remote server. Our host is the remote server's IP address, so the remote machine's IP address. So to set the R host value, I'm using the command set R host and the IP address for the victim's machine. That was 1.1.1.8, and R host value was configured. So to see only the option part, I want to see only the option part, not all the details. What you can do is write a command show options and press enter. This will only show you the option modules, right? So R host is a required field which is configured. R port is a required field which is pre-configured. So after setting this, after configuring this R host R port value, what you can do is you can write a command run, or you can write exploit to use this exploit on victim's machine, right? So I got the shell, command shell, session 1 open from this machine to this machine, 1.1.1.8, and a port number 6200. And this is a simple timestamp, right? I can execute commands. When I write ls here, I get a list of directories that are available on that machine. You can execute all the Linux commands here. If I simply write who am I, I'm the root user here. When I connect to the machine with these services like FTP or the SSH or Telnet, I'm a simple normal user. But when I exploit the service, I'm a root user. You can use command like uname -a. This will give you a complete list of details about that Linux operating system, which is the simple Linux operating system, what was the name of the system, what was the version of the system, and all other different things, right? You can exploit the service versions as well. You can use the service version to find out there is any exploit available for that service or not.